Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I am super excited to come to you today with another fresh new episode for you. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. Hope you are doing well. Sorry about that. I was getting my noise levels correct here. What I hear myself talk when I wear the headphones. Sometimes I wear headphones, sometimes I don't. It just depends on what the show entails, if I got guests with us or if I'm doing solo or whatever that brings. But welcome to the jungle. Thanks for tuning in, and I am excited for another day here on the show. It is currently, let's set the mood for you here. It is currently pouring rain outside. I have a throbbing headache. I messed up my ankle playing basketball tonight, and I have a hat on to cover my eyes from the light. That is the mood that I'm in right now. I'm in an actually pretty good mood. Just a lot of stuff, and so just need to set the mood for you there while we start the show. But hope you are doing well for real. Hope the spring rush is going good for you guys. Pretty much everybody I feel like is in the swing of things, getting cleanups going. I know some of you guys are still getting some late snow, but I know that I've seen a lot of people getting cleanups going, a lot of people mowing and things, and we are in the thick of it, dude. Just good dude, guys, girls, whoever's listening, we're in the thick of it, and I'm excited to be here to talk about it for another day here on the show and just kind of walk through our journey. I want to do a quick little fun show on a Wednesday, kind of change it up a little bit. We usually do our kind of fun, lighthearted topics on Friday, but we're changing the whole schedule this week. Monday was changed up because of Easter, so our Marriage Monday episode was a little different. Well, I'm going to change it up this week on Wednesday, and we're going to do a fun show just talking about the differences, kind of that, I don't know, the show title might be like the polls or the this or that. And I think that it's going to be a kind of a fun show just to walk through. I've written down some ideas, some things that I feel like are common questions in the industry when you're getting started. Some things that, are you doing this, are you doing that? And they could be turned into Instagram polls, and I think I would get a lot of feedback on a lot of this stuff. So let's start the conversation here today on the Growing Green podcast, and then some of you guys go take it, throw it on your Instagram polls, tag us, and let's start the trend of some of these. And so I want to walk through, I've got about 10 or 12 written down here. Some of them are a little more deep. We might go a little deeper on them. Some of them are a little more lighthearted. Just some funny things that came to my mind when I was thinking through these topics. And I think they're all pretty relevant, though, especially this time of year. A lot of things happening and moving on in the business, and you're trying to figure out where you want to go, what do you want to do for the season ahead. And so I think this is a relevant topic for the time being. And so let's hop in. The this or that, some of the top questions that I feel like are asked or talked about, topics of discussion in our industry in your first couple years in business, and even past that, when you get on Facebook groups and things like that. But I think this might be the number one topic of discussion, the number one that people get the most heated about, the number one that who knows people could stop listening to the show over this. It is cash versus debt. And should I pay cash for it or should I finance it? We'll start with a heavy one. I have pretty much eliminated on this show telling you what you should do. That is not the look that I want to have on life. I don't want to impress my opinions onto you. I want you to be able to be a free thinker, make your own decisions. My job here is to tell you and help educate you on how to make educated decisions wisely. And so that's what I'm here to do. That's how I want to help you. That's what we want to do here on the show. And so I never want to push my beliefs, my opinions, my actions for my business onto you guys. And so cash versus finance. I'm going to tell you what I do, and I'm going to tell you how it has benefited me, how it has hurt me, what are the positives and the negatives, and you can make your own educated decision after that. I have personally used debt to grow my company. I've not paid for everything in cash. I don't plan to pay for everything in cash ever, and I have used debt. I have been in a lot of debt at some points, and some points less. Paid some things off, sold some things, and just kind of ebbs and flows, whatever, just the years in business change, whatever equipment we got at the time. And so my first piece of equipment that I went into debt for in my company 5 years ago was a zero-turn mower. I was renting the first mower that I ever had, and I decided to stop renting. Financed it at 0% with John Deere, and I've never looked back since. It's been a great option for us. It has, obviously, I know we're paying a little more. Like, it's not truly 0%. John Deere does their financing in-house. They're getting their money. I understand that. But we are paying a very, I believe, fair and low rate to have the equipment that we have every single month. And so we've done that, and what we've done is our mowers got a warranty at 1,200 hours or every 3 years, I believe. And so every 2 to 3 years so far, we've traded our mowers out. We are on our second batch right now, coming up on the end of those, and we'll be transitioning to our third here very, very soon. Hopefully some more surprises coming down the road on what that's going to be, what we're replacing them with. But that is what we've done. That was the first piece that I went into debt for and kind of leveraged to grow the company. I was able to cut properties that I could have never, ever cut with a push mower or a little Craftsman or something from Home Depot. And so I needed to do it at the time. I felt like it was the best decision. I made it, and it has paid off tremendously. And so that is the first thing that I did. I also financed a truck down the road and got that because I was renting the first truck as well. Financed a truck. And so at this point, we've financed a truck, a trailer, financed the dump trailer, and we financed the mini skid steer. That's all that we financed up to this point. I'm not against it by any stretch. Like, it gives you the ability to do, like we did, $100,000 plus in landscaping last year. Easy. $60,000 of that could not have been done without the mini skid, hands down. And what we would have done is we would have had a lot more logistics on jobs. We would have paid a lot of money in rental fees and a lot of back and forth trips from the gas stations, getting it full, taking it and dropping it off at Home Depot, making sure it's clean, all the stuff that goes into it. And so when we solved that problem of having to rent back in May of last year, or June, I forget which one it was, then we did go into debt for that, and I'm leveraging that. And so we pay a payment every month, and that machine makes us about 6 or 7 times that probably. I don't know the exact math. I should. We're working through it with Alan right now, getting all of our numbers straightened out and set up, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But it has worked for my company. At the end of the day, it has worked for our company. I put everything on a credit card and pay that credit card every month. I don't spend any cash. I don't even have a debit card that is operational in my company. Now, I might get roasted for this. You might come at me. I'm happy to have a discussion. I will go to town with anybody that wants to have a discussion about it. I literally don't have an active debit card. And you may ask why. Like, I'll tell you some of my reasons, and I'm not telling you should do this. I'm telling you why I do this because I want you to be educated, and I want to tell you exactly why I take this course of action sometimes. And so for me, it's a safety thing. It is. I don't want to. I don't want somebody to hack my debit card or get lost and then have access to all of my funds that are sitting in my checking account or savings account or whatever account you may be. When you lose that money from the bank, it is a lot harder to get that money back, much more of a process than somebody writing up your credit card bill. You can also turn off your credit card pretty easily. I'm uneducated about the on-off switch on the credit card. On the debit card. So maybe you can do that through your bank as well. I'm sure you can. But I just know that I can go into my app and literally press lock card, and that card will not activate, will not spend any other money. So if I feel like it's lost, realize it's lost, then I can shut it off very, very quickly. And so if somebody steals it, though, they're stealing somebody else's money. They're stealing American Express's money, not mine. And so it is something that I will stick with and use for the future. Also, it is something that it brings me rewards. It brings me cash back and points. Like, I couldn't tell you the last time I paid for a hotel room. And you can argue with me all you want, but I have not paid for a hotel room in probably 3 years, and that's when I got my business credit card. It pays for all of our travel just about when we go and stay places in hotels. that's what we can use. And so we put all of our business expenses on those cards. We can have multiple employee cards under that, so I can have anybody in the company excuse me, anybody in the company can have an employee card. I think up to 100 are free. And so you can you get the rewards on anybody that spends that money. So you got guys out working. It doesn't have to just be your card that gets swiped. Anybody that has an employee card can do that. And so it's just much safer in my opinion. Like, you got guys out leaving them on gas pumps and things. Then if something ever does get hacked or stolen, again, you're dealing with American Express's money and not your own coming out of your checking account. And all your other finances that are tied to that in your personal life if you bank in the same place that you do your business, and so on and so forth. So that is kind of some of the reasons why. We could go deeper into that. But again, I said it was going to be some quick stuff today. This is probably honestly the heaviest one that is the topic of discussion, though. And so it works for us. Now, I will say, if you want to talk about the negative to it, it is easy to spend more than you should on these things. I will attest to that. Because when you got a $20,000 limit, you got to remember, you ain't got $20,000. You got to make that payment. You don't need paying interest. I'm never an advocate for that, for paying interest. But I will tell you this. There are times where you need to float cash. You need to get through in business in the early stages and get through the winter months or something like that. I believe that you can use that to float I believe you can use lines of credit and things to float your company through the winter. Like, pay a small fee and have your line of credit that you can pull from, or have zero and keep guys on payroll and pay for material, or run off cash, have zero cash, turn down jobs or ask for full payment up front so you can just pay for your material and not get guys on payroll and you can't pay them every week. Now, the alternative kickback is going to be, well, you should handle your money better. You shouldn't be worried about having to make payroll with a line of credit. Yeah, I get it, but cash flow sucks sometimes, and cash flow is king. That is something that you have to figure out in your business. It's something we're still figuring out in our company. How do we handle cash flow the best? How do we get deposits on landscape jobs? What do we do? What processes do we follow? And so we're working through all that. But I'm telling you, that is one of the reasons. I think that is another benefit to it. So what it is, though, is you got to remember, if you got a $20,000 limit, don't be spending $20,000 on it. And make sure you're paying your payment every single month at the end of the month. Make sure you're paying it before the due date. And make sure you pay the total statement balance so you're not paying interest. I have messed up before and missed a day or just didn't pay the full thing. It looked at the numbers wrong, and I paid $100 in interest or something like that. Like, these credit cards have super high interest. I think they're 28, 29% is what usually is the common, what I've seen across the board there. And so it adds up very quickly. But, again, a ton of alternatives if you're responsible with it. It does make you be responsible. If you want it to benefit you, you have to be responsible. It can tear you down. It could put your business in the ground faster than you know what happened if you use it unwisely. So use it wisely. Use it to your advantage. I think there are some benefits to it. And if you got any other questions on any of that, I would be happy to go further in discussion on that. But that's where I'll leave it for now. On to the next one. We got like 10 more to run through, and we're already 15 minutes into the show. Truck versus trailer. This is another kind of heavy topic. Not heavy, but discussed. I've seen Spencer Lawn Care. Sean and Savannah just got them in a Zuzu landscape body, and they're running their maintenance crew out of that now. I think they're loving it from what I've seen on socials. We picked up our box truck a little over 2 years ago, just like last week. It was hands down probably the first or second best decision we've ever made in our company. The mini skid is right there with it, paired with the dump trailer. But the box truck, guys, is it's so nice. Oh, it's so nice. The ease of transport, the worry about having a trailer out on the roads, having 4 extra tires or 6 extra tires on the road, sideswiping mailboxes, backing into cars, getting stuck in a dead-end street, not being able to back out. Like, all that worry goes away when you get a box truck on the street, guys, especially when you have people out running it for you and you're not there every day. I almost think it's a must. I can't imagine going back to running a trailer every single day. Everything is inside. Everything is covered up. Everything is thief-resistant. Now, I'm not going to say it's thief-proof, but it's thief-resistant. And the benefit to it is just so nice. Now, do I say sell all of your trailer and trucks and only run that? I wouldn't go that far. I would have a backup, because here's the thing. When you run a box truck, that thing goes down, your whole crew is down if you don't have a backup. Whereas when you run a trailer, if your truck goes down, you can go rent a U-Haul truck or something and get back in business. You're not going to find a U-Haul with a box that they're going to let you put mowers and crap in and work. And I've never seen a landscape body for rent either. So you do have to think about that stuff when you make the switch. Is like try to have something on standby, keep an old truck and an old trailer to be able to just throw everything on in a bind and keep on moving. Because if the box truck goes down and it's at the mechanic for a week, what's you going to do if you don't have a backup? So think about that stuff before you make that decision. But I do say I love the box truck. Box truck landscape body, to each his own. Depends on what you're going to be doing with it. If you're going to be doing a bunch of bulk mulch and things and you don't want to use a trailer at all, then I think it's a good option. But for us, it's like we have a dedicated utility trailer that's a backup. We have a dump trailer. I did not see the need in buying a landscape body because we'll use those things for those services. I want the box truck to be totally devoted pretty much to maintenance, and all of our stuff is inside. No unloading and loading in at the night. It's always out of the weather. It's been such a huge asset to our company. I absolutely love it. We got the gasser, the Isuzu NPR with a dovetail in the back. If I did change one thing, I would do floor-to-ceiling gates, ramps, and so that way your box is totally sealed off, and you pretty much are thief-proof at that point, at least while you're out in the middle of the day. They could probably get in overnight, but just like quick eating lunch or something, it's going to be pretty hard for them to get in there if you got locks on it and things. So I would switch to floor-to-ceiling ramps as your back gates. Just one for the thieves, but two, just because that dovetail scrapes if you go through dips and things. And so I think there's a benefit there. But truck trailer debate, topic, whatever you wanted to call it, discussion. My vote is always on the truck now. The box truck, the landscape body, something along those sorts. Even a ramp rack maybe if you got a smaller route, smaller mowers and things. Flip edging versus stick edging. This is a funny one. We actually just posted a video on this a couple weeks ago. A lot of people said stick edging. A lot of people said flip edging. We do a little bit of mix of both, honestly. Depends on what the properties, depends on the neighborhood, depends on the cars, what's around us, things like that. If we are in a heavily populated area as far as like houses, super tight houses, a lot of cars around, I'm going to push the guys to do a stick edger all day long because I don't want to break windows and doors on cars and houses and things. Now, you're out on some rural driveway. It is, in my opinion, faster to use a flip edge if you have already got a good edge established. Now, if you're pulling up to a property and you've never put an edge on it before, break out the stick edger. Don't even try to do it with a weed eater. It's not worth the time and the effort to go into it. Get you a metal blade and a stick edger. Go to town on that thing. Create a good edge once or twice, and then you can go through with the weed eater and hit it pretty fast. But just always be cautious of where you're throwing your stuff, where you're throwing your debris if you are flip edging so you're not breaking windows and things. The next thing, what do we got here? Stand-on versus sit-down. Stand-on versus sit-down mowers. That's another hot topic here. A lot of guys go stand-on. A lot of guys go sit-down. I personally have always been sit-down. I actually did have a Quick Track, a John Deere Quick Track 52-inch for probably 6 months. Ended up trading that thing in. Didn't really like the way that it was built and things. Didn't serve the purpose for what we needed at the time. But we've always done zero turns other than that. We've loved them. We mow some bigger properties, so it's nice to sit down. With that being said, when we make our next mower switch here, probably this year, then we're probably going to switch to stand-ons. Safety reasons are a huge reason for this. We actually had a conversation with Sean Spencer about this, and I was like, "Why have you always used stand-ons? What is the reason for that? Why are you transitioning to that?" And he said safety, and that is something that I never really thought about, but just because zero turns are just ingrained in me. That's what I started with. That's what I've always used. Again, trying to get an open mind here, free thinking, try to figure out and learn how we can grow and elevate ourselves in the businesses. Safety, when you get guys out there on hills and slopes and things, and they're on a zero turn and they flip that thing, they're most likely going to ride it down and most likely don't have their roll bar up because they don't want to be hitting the bottom of the trees and things. And most likely don't have their seatbelt on. Like, all of those things probably happen. Whereas on a stand-on, that thing starts sliding and you start flipping, you hop off. And so you can always replace a mower, you can't replace a person. And that's something that I've been thinking about more and more as I'm not out on the mow crew really much anymore. They're out rocking it, and I'm like, their safety is number one priority. The only thing that I'm somewhat hesitant about is like the deck. How is it going to do scalping-wise? Because we do a lot of work in that foot pedal, and so I want to make sure that these decks float the right way and things. But we should see. We'll see what happens. I think we are going to go the stand-on route with John Deere's. Some of their new mowers are coming out with their Q800 series. We are again not making any promises, but just stay tuned. You might see some cool stuff here on the channel coming pretty soon. So that topic is that. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to read my own writing. Literally, what does this say? What? I literally cannot read. Oh, employee. Homeschool writing, guys. Y'all heard my homeschool math last show on Friday, I think it was. My homeschool math doing 680, 10% or 6% of 680, something like that. Yeah, what can I say? Left-handed writing also does not help. I'm left-handed. My writing is not that great. It's legible when I'm looking at it from the right angle. But employee versus no employees. Another hot topic. A lot of guys are going the non-employee route. They're complaining about not being able to find workers, not being able to put a staff together. It's easier to just go the solo route, get out there, mow some yards, and be done. Lot of stereotypes and things that go behind this. What we're doing right now is we're actually in growth mode. So we are trying to bring employees on. I'm trying to hire employees. I'm trying to have 4 full-time guys right now. 2 guys. 1 guy full-time landscape, 1 guy part-time landscape, part-time mow, 2 guys full-time mow. And that's kind of the position that we're in right now. It's what we're working through and trying to get set up. We've actually got a pretty good team in place right now. We're going to see if it lasts and if we can make this grow our culture this season. But I am personally going the employee route. It's really what I've done is just kind of focused on myself. How can I grow our company on the inside? How can I build the culture that we need? How can I put the things in place, help the people around us, and grow the company from the inside out? And so we're focusing on finding the right people, adding the right people to the team, and things like that. People are going to ask, where do you get them from? Indeed, ZipRecruiter, some of those things work. I've heard Indeed, people have good luck with those. But guys, get on your local Facebook groups. Tell them, make a really, really good looking job post. If you're looking for a job, are you gonna go to the job post and apply to someone who is saying I need labor for a day or I need hands or manual labor for $14 an hour, must be able to lift 50 pounds, work in extreme heat and cold? Or are you going to go to the ad that says, Growing Green Landscapes is hiring. We're looking for a full-time apprentice that we're going to teach and grow in the landscape industry. Opportunities to rise within the company. Starting pays at whatever wage you start at. Competitive pay. Benefits if you offer benefits. Culture, a really good company culture. Opportunities for growth. And, word it the right way. You can literally make a job posting within, ChatGPT, guys. You can have it write one for you. Edit it a little bit and put it on your Facebook page and put a good graphic with it. And do it that way. Share that around your community. I had a neighbor stop by the other day and ask to work, and it's actually might work out, I think. You never know where they're going to come from. I've lived in the same place for 3 years now, seen this guy drive by for 3 years now, randomly stop by, say, hey, you got a job? I'm looking for a job. Can I work? Sure, let's check it out. We'll see. And we're a couple days in, and I think it's actually been a really good fit. So, keep an open mind. You never know where we're going to come from. If you go the solo route, cool. I think it does change up some. I think it changes things up. I think it makes it a little more simple if you're just doing mowing and things. If you start diversifying from mowing into landscaping, then your schedule gets a little crazy, working around weather and so forth. So just remember, if you're solo and you get hurt or you can't show up one day or your kid has a basketball game that you don't want to miss, the money stops coming in. So just keep that in mind. You're not going to have people out generating revenue for you. You are the revenue generator. And so if that's the route you want to take it, run with it, excel at it. Just remember that as you make that decision moving forward. Install versus maintenance, kind of piggybacking off of this employee talk. Install is great. There is a lot of money in it. There's some really big profit margins in it if you do it the right way. Is it recurring? It's not. And so you can have a full schedule. You can be booked up. That book of work could go away tomorrow. The economy shifts. I promise you somebody's $40,000 pool can wait, but somebody's $75 lawn has to be cut still. And so I am a firm believer that If you go into the landscape, do it, rock it, excel at it. It's literally what we're doing right now. I'm trying to grow my landscape. I'm trying to 2.5 times my landscape revenue this year. But in that, I'm also trying to 2.5 to 3 times my mowing revenue, because that is recurring. That is where we get a lot of recurring revenue from. And so we're setting up models that are trying to bring cash flow at all times, but also hold on to profit. So we're going to set our mowing at a really good profit, a good 12 to 15% profit margin, and we're going to bid our landscape jobs at 25 to 30% on most of them now. And it's like, that's the power that LMN gives you, is being able to know these numbers to the penny. And so it is a topic of discussion: install maintenance, hardscape maintenance. What do we do here? Design, build, or cut grass? You take it with a grain of salt and do what you may. I'm going to stick to some maintenance. I'm going to incorporate landscaping. I don't have any intentions of dropping my lawn maintenance at all, because I want the cash flow, 1. I want the profit, 2. I want guys on payroll, 3. I want my bills paid, 4. And I want to see our company grow. And it brings consistent revenue coming in the door. So, and we get to help a lot of people that way. And we get to help a lot of people landscaping, but not the amount that we can with mowing. Gas versus diesel on your trucks. Back to the Isuzu talk. I've heard, again, this is just hearsay, word on the street. I've heard the newer diesels are not that great. They've had some issues with them, like after 2010. Before 2010, I've heard gassers. I've heard the diesels were good, but I personally got a gasser. Mine has the 6.0 in it. It's a 2004 NPR, and it has the gasser, like I said, 6.0. And it's done the job great for us. Easy motor to work on. If you got a shop with a bay big enough and a lift big enough to lift the box truck, you're in great shape. Our problem was finding a shop that actually has that a lift big enough to lift it, and a building tall enough that with the box on there, it's not too tall. It's not the motor they can't work on. Any mechanic shop can work on the motor. It's the actual physical shape of the body. So think about that as well. What does your dealers look like in your community? Will you get dealer support straight from where you buy it? Or if you buy it used, do you have mechanics that you can turn to and take it to close to you, not to drive 45 minutes, or have it towed 45 minutes when you break down? Last thing that I want to hit on is software. Software versus no software. And this is a topic you already know my answer on, and it's because I'm seeing it work in our company. I'm seeing it work in so many guys' companies, and I am at the point where it's like, I don't know how you run a legitimate, profitable, by-the-books business without having some type of software in place. For us, it's LMN. It is solving a problem that we've had for the last couple of years, as far as knowing our prices, knowing our numbers, tracking our numbers. That's huge as well. Like, we got to get past the point of just know your numbers, know your rates. Like, can you be very manual at that and figure that out? You can. Tracking them is a whole different ballgame. Looking at final reports after jobs are finished, whole different ballgame. And so that is all, you can do that all within LMN. And so it has been a huge help to us. If you're not using LMN, cool, but get some type of CRM that is going to help you. Now, LMN is going to help you with the budgeting, the estimating, the customer communication, the scheduling, the invoicing, all of it. And whereas a job or a yard book, something like that, is only going to help you really with the CRM portion as far as invoicing and scheduling, communication with customers. But as far as the estimating and the billing side goes, and the budgeting side goes, they're not that great, and that's not what they're designed for. That's not the price you pay for with them. And so great services, but they're not going to help you build budgets and follow them and know your numbers the way that you should. And so Element is kind of what we're rocking with right now. If you haven't heard that we can help you out with that process, you can use our name, just Jeremiah, my name, not our name. I'm not two people. Use Jeremiah when you sign up for a free trial with Element, or the paid version as well. And you're going to get an amazing white glove experience with the onboard process. It's an experience that literally I think is necessary. You will use the software so much more when you realize how to actually use it. And I'm telling you, it's so in depth. We've been going through this for like 2 months now, just about, and it is like mind blowing the things that I'm figuring out in this thing every time we talk. Like talking once or twice a week with an onboard specialist. And it's just like, wow, I have so much to learn. And so it's helping us. It's helping us navigate through this season that we're in. And so I'm excited to be out here rocking it this year with Element and hopefully changing our company's future down the road as well. Thanks to Mark Bradley and all he's doing for our community. Guys, if you're not following Mark Bradley on Instagram, go follow him. Follow Element. Follow all their social pages. Even if you don't use the software, they have tons of live free webinars that you can go tune into, free trainings, all that stuff. And go check those out. If you're on the fence, you don't know if you want to go check those out. I promise you'll probably be sold on it. And it's not to sell you. Like, I'm not telling you this to sell you on this. I'm telling this to, like, change your business. I got a text tonight while I'm recording this podcast that said, dude, Element is the freaking best. That's verbatim what the dude said. Verbatim what he said. We were talking about it last week, had lunch, talked it over, and we were talking about some things he's going through in his company. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to check it out. Checked it out, got everything set in, plugged up on the free version. Verbatim, dude, ... Element is the freaking best. I'm not pitching. I promise you I'm not pitching. If I didn't have a code, I would still be saying the same things because I'm seeing it change in our company. And I'm telling you, the reason to use the code, do we get a kickback from it? Absolutely we do. The reason, though, is for you to, like, that code invests into you in getting the right onboard process and the right help that you need getting everything set up so that you take your $1,500 onboard fee or your $500 a month Element fee when you get, like, pro upgrades, greenies, all the stuff that goes with it, and you 10 or 20x that. Like, that's what the software is for. Are you going to pay $5,000 a year for it? Roughly, I don't even know the exact numbers. We're going to say $5,000 for software. You're going to pay $5,000 for software, but what is it going to generate you? It's going to generate you $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, $1 million. Like, it's very possible, guys. It's a very good investment, in my opinion. I will be sticking with sometime, even if we ever switch from Element, I'll still be saying, like, Element's a great software, and I'll still be saying, get a software, whether it's synced up or Service Autopilot or whichever one you want to use. Go find it. Find the one that works best for your company. But if you're going to do it, devote to it, be committed to it, and watch it take your company to the moon, as they say. So I appreciate it, guys. I really appreciate this show that we get to do 3 times a week. Appreciate the community that we've built. It's been such an honor getting to do this the last couple of years. Coming up on 3 years in May or June, I think, that we've been doing the show. So a lot of shows, a lot of content. You can go back through and listen to, I think, literally probably weeks of content if you wanted to, just to get caught up. I enjoy it. I love it. I'm very thankful for the community that we've built. Thankful for each and every one of you that I've gotten to build relationships with. It really, truly does mean the world to me that we get to call you friends and you listen to the show 3 times a week as well, because I know you got a lot of shows to listen to. So I'm glad that you choose ours. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hope it brought some value to you. Just a little fun, like this or that episode. I think there was some good discussion in here today. Hopefully it sparked some discussion. Go post some Instagram polls on your stories and see what other people weigh in, how they weigh in, tag us, and I want to see them and reshare them as well. So thanks for tuning into the show today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It means the world that we listen. But without any further ado, that's going to wrap this one up. And we look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.